On a sunny morning I stumbled upon an old photograph of myself lost between the pages of a forgotten book. The smile, frozen in time, led me to ponder who was I at that exact moment, and who am I now? As Socrates said, know thyself, but how many of us truly embark on this deep journey? Surprisingly, 80% of people believe they know themselves well, yet only a fraction truly into the depths of their being. I challenge you to look inward beyond the layers of expectations and social masks. What will you discover about yourself today? Let's explore this in the video, so make sure you subscribe to continue on this journey with self-awareness. Have you ever wondered why on the stage of life, even being the protagonist, we sometimes feel lost in the face of daily antagonists? Today we will unveil how self-awareness can be your compass on this journey. Understanding yourself is like having a map in an unknown land. When you know yourself, you identify not only your strengths but also your vulnerabilities, turning obstacles into steps for your growth. Imagine having the clarity to recognize when a negative comment doesn't reflect who you are, but rather who the other person chooses to be. Introspection is a journey to the center of your being, not to isolate yourself, but to build stronger bridges with others. It's as if by diving deep within, you emerge with a shield capable of reflecting others' negativity without letting it penetrate your being. And how to practice this art through continuous reflection. Make it a ritual, like drinking water or breathing. Let each challenging situation be an invitation to ask yourself, what does this teach me about myself? By doing so, you not only disarm toxic people but also pave the way for wiser decisions. Now look around you, see each interaction as an opportunity to practice this self-awareness, for in the end the greatest victory is over oneself, achieving a state of peace and control that no one can disturb. And remember, on this journey of self-awareness, each step you take lights the way for others to find theirs too. Forgiveness and memory. In our journey through life we encounter moments of choice, emotional crossroads that define not only who we are but who we will become. To talk about forgiveness and memory is to navigate these often turbulent waters in search of a safe harbor called inner peace. But how do we maintain this delicate balance between forgiving and not forgetting? Forgiving doesn't mean erasing the memories, it means redefining our relationship with them. Imagine yourself as a sculptor. Each experience, good or bad, is a rough block of marble. Forgiveness is the tool that allows us to carve beauty from pain, but memory indeed is the guide that prevents us from cutting our fingers in the process. Consider this: when we forgive, we make room in our heart for new connections, healthier relationships that blossom in the fertile ground of understanding and empathy. But by remembering, we build a fence around this garden, not to keep others out but to protect the young plants from past Storm's resilience is the most beautiful flower in this garden. It doesn't grow. Despite adversity, it grows because we learn from it. It's the memory of past winters that teaches us to appreciate the spring sun. The healthiest relationships are not those without conflicts, but those where we've learned to dance in the rain, guided by memories of previous storms. So as you navigate this path, remember that to forgive is to open the door to the future, but to remember is to keep the key. It's not about living in the past, but using its lessons to build a better tomorrow. This is the art of living, balancing the likeness of forgiveness with the wisdom of memory. I invite you to reflect, how does this balance manifest in your life? How can you use forgiveness to free up space for new experiences while keeping memories as sentinels that protect your growth? Now move forward with confidence. Use forests as wings to fly high and memory as roots to stay grounded. In the end, it's this balance that makes us whole, allowing us to live deeply, enriching relationships and build a resilience that always leads us to flourish. Emotional stability, navigating the turbulent sea of human interactions, requires more than just knowing how to swim. Finding yourself amidst toxic people is like being in waters infested with distasteful currents. The key to crossing these waters without being swept away by the current is emotional stability. But how can one maintain calmness and balance in this challenging scenario? The answer lies in the power of mindfulness and the effectiveness of stress management. Imagine your mind as a vast ocean. The waves on the surface are your emotions fluctuating with the winds. But beneath this turbulent surface there exists a place of profound calmness. Unshakable mindfulness is the dive that takes you there. Practicing it means learning to breathe under the waves, to recognize the storm without being enveloped by it. Every moment of mindfulness is a reminder that you are not your emotions, you are the sky through which they pass, vast and unchanging. By cultivating this awareness, you develop mental resilience, an invisible shield that toxic people cannot penetrate. Stress management acts as a compass in this ocean. Techniques like deep breathing, positive visualization, and regular physical activity are the coordinates that guide us back to balance. Even when currents try to veer us off course, they teach us to recognize the signs of a storm and to seek shelter before the waves grow too large. Developing this emotional stability is not an easy task, but it is profoundly liberating. Building an internal lighthouse that guides you back to calm no matter how dark the night may be. And more than that, it's discovering that within you lies an immense power of regeneration and peace. Therefore, remember, when you encounter toxic people, don't try to calm the storm. Calm yourself. The sea will settle on its own. And by practicing mindfulness and stress management, you will not only survive the toxic currents, but learn to navigate with confidence and serenity. regardless of the sea conditions setting. Boundaries. Have you noticed how sometimes we feel overwhelmed because we don't say no when necessary? Well, setting boundaries is not just about creating barriers but about paving the way for healthier relationships and genuine well-being. Imagine your life as a garden. Boundaries are like fences that protect your precious plants. Without them, anyone can come in and trample the flowers, right? But when you have these fences, you choose who can enter and how they can interact with your space. Ever found yourself in a situation where you felt drained simply because you couldn't say no? This feeling of exhaustion is not a sign of weakness but an alert that your boundaries are being tested. Setting boundaries is an act of courage, of saying this is me and this is what I need to feel respected and safe. And you know what? By doing so, you not only protect yourself but also teach others to respect your space, creating relationships based on mutual respect. But how to do this without seeming distant or rigid? The key is in communication. Speaking openly about your boundaries is not a sign of selfishness, but of self-awareness and self-respect. The saying, I value our relationship and want it to be the best possible for both of us. This not only strengthens the bonds but also promotes an environment where everyone feels heard and valued. Now I invite you to take action. Think about your boundaries. Are they clearly defined? If not, what is the first step you can take today to start establishing them? Remember, every little step counts in the journey to build healthier relationships and a respected personal space. So shall we embark on this journey of self-awareness and mutual respect together? Energy intelligence. Have you ever stopped to think that just like we charge our cell phones every day to ensure they work, we also need to recharge our energy? I'm not just talking about getting good sleep or taking vacations. I'm referring to energy intelligence, the art of managing your own energy in a way that influences not only yourself but also those around you, creating a calm environment and promoting healthy behaviors. Think about meditation, for example. More than just a moment of peace and quiet, meditation is a powerful tool for recalibrating the mind and body, allowing you to reconnect with your center and generate positive energy. Have you ever noticed how a simple meditation session can transform your day, making it more serene and productive? And what about nutrition? Just as we choose quality fuel for a car to perform better, the type of food we consume can be the fuel we need to optimize our energy. A balanced diet rich in nutrients not only nourishes the body but also the mind, directly impacting our ability to stay calm and make wise decisions. But here's an insight: managing your own energy is not limited to individual practices. It also involves knowing how your energy affects others and how you can positively influence the environment around you. Have you ever noticed how the presence of someone calm and centered can reassure an entire room. That's the power of energy. Intelligence. Now I invite you to reflect. How are you managing your energy? Are you giving yourself the right fuel both mentally and physically to face the challenges of everyday life? Remember, small practices incorporated into your routine, such as meditation and mindful eating, can make a big difference. So are you ready to start recharging your energy intelligently and positively influence the world around you? If you're enjoying this, leave your comment and like to help this video reach more people, and don't forget to subscribe. Focus on goals in our daily journey towards success and personal fulfillment. One skill stands out as crucial: the ability to maintain focus on our objectives. Believe me, it's not just about having a list of goals, it's about the inner strength to stay on course, especially when facing adversity or people who intentionally or not try to steer us off track. This is where emotional intelligence comes into play. Our true superpower: individuals with high emotional intelligence have a sharp radar to identify and protect themselves against toxic influences. They understand that the environment around them can either energize or drain their motivation. How do they do this? Firstly, through self-awareness, recognizing their emotions and how they influence their actions. This deep understanding enables them to remain calm and clear even when surrounded by negativity. Moreover, the ability of empathy, another pillar of emotional intelligence, helps to understand the motives behind others' actions without allowing them to affect their emotional balance. Instead of being dragged into others' dramas, these individuals use empathy to protect themselves and move forward, keeping their goals in sight. But how does this apply in practice? Let's simplify. Imagine your goal as a lighthouse on the horizon. The waves and storms are the distractions and toxic people that arise along the way. With your internal compass of emotional intelligence, you can navigate through these turbulent waters without losing sight of your lighthouse, adjusting the sails, your actions and reactions to stay the course. Now I invite you to reflect. What are the lighthouses you are seeking? How have the waves tried to steer you off course? And most importantly, how can you adjust your sails to maintain focus on what truly matters? Remember, success and personal satisfaction are not just about achieving goals, but about the journey to get there, facing and overcoming obstacles with resilience and emotional intelligence. So keep focus, protect your energy and move forward, for the true power lies within you. Take control of your life with the wisdom of the greatest philosophers in history. Stoicism in the 21st century is your map to resilience, well-being, being, and prosperity. Transform challenges into triumph, stress into strength, uncertainty into clarity. Click now on the pinned comment link and start your Stoic journey to a life of success and satisfaction. Get your ebook today. Seeking support in our journey through life, we encounter mountains that seem insurmountable, challenges and obstacles test our strength, but no matter how much we believe in our ability to overcome them alone, there is a fundamental truth we cannot ignore. We all need support. The journey becomes lighter and more meaningful when shared with friends, family, or professionals who offer us a helping hand, a comforting word, or a different perspective. Imagine you're facing a maze. Alone you try to find the way out, navigating paths that lead to dead ends. Now imagine you have a drone that can seize the maze from above. That drone represents the people who support you. They offer a view that you trapped in the maze cannot see. Friends and family may not have all the answers, but the simple act of listening and sharing experiences can shed light, revealing paths that were previously invisible. And when it comes to emotional or psychological challenges, the guidance of professionals can be the guide we need to traverse dense and dark forests. Psychologists, therapists, and counselors are like experienced explorers who know the shortcuts and hidden traps in the jungle of our minds. Seeking support is not a sign of weakness, it's a demonstration of strength. It's recognizing that we are social beings, interconnected, and that our ability to grow and overcome challenges expands exponentially when we are open to receiving help. The different perspectives and experiences of others are like pieces of a puzzle that, when put together, can complete the picture we are trying to form. So the next time you find yourself facing a challenge, remember that you don't have to face it alone. Reach out, share your struggles, and allow the multiplicity of views and the motivational support from those around you to help you find new perspectives and solutions. Together we are stronger, wiser, and infinitely more capable. Control of negative self-talk. You know, that internal critic that seems to have a megaphone always ready to highlight our flaws and fears. This negative self-talk can be one of the biggest obstacles to our well-being and personal growth. However, with the right techniques, it's possible to transform this critic into an ally, promoting a positive self-image and reducing anxiety. First, let's talk about reframing thoughts. Imagine that every negative thought is like a dark cloud in the sky of your mind. Reframing these thoughts is like finding the silver lining in those clouds. For example, instead of thinking "I can never get this right," we can reframe it to "I'm facing challenges, but I'm learning and growing with each experience." This change in narrative not only relieves pressure but also opens up space for growth and learning. Another powerful technique is the practice of mindfulness. This means being fully present in the moment, observing our thoughts and feelings without judgment. When we find ourselves caught in a whirlwind of negativity, mindfulness helps us take a step back, observe those thoughts as passing clouds and not as absolute truths. With this perspective, we can choose which thoughts deserve our energy and which we can let go of. Additionally, gratitude is an underestimated tool in controlling negative self-talk. At the end of each day, try to list 3 things you're grateful for. This simple act can shift your focus from what's lacking to what's abundant in your life, nurturing a more positive view of yourself and the world around you. Finally, remember that self-compassion is essential. We all have moments of doubt and insecurity, but offering ourselves compassion as we would to a friend can make a big difference. The next time your internal dialogue becomes harsh, ask yourself, would I say this to someone I love? If the answer is no, it's time to adjust the conversation. Changing negative self-talk isn't something that happens overnight, but with practice and patience, it's possible to transform this internal critic into a motivational coach. And remember, every positive step you take in this direction is a reason to celebrate. Solution-oriented approach in a world that often seems filled with challenges. The ability to maintain a solution-oriented mindset can be your golden compass. It's a mentality that, instead of dwelling on problems and obstacles, actively seeks practical solutions. This approach not only makes us more resilient in the face of adversity, but also empowers us to harness the power of creativity, adaptability, and cooperation. Imagine yourself as a navigator facing stormy seas. The problems are the high waves and strong winds trying to veer you off course. A solution-oriented approach in this scenario is like adjusting the sails and the helm to use the wind's force to your advantage, turning obstacles into opportunities to move forward. Creativity is your mast on this journey. It allows you to see beyond conventional solutions, finding new paths and possibilities where others see dead ends. When we face a problem, it's easy to get stuck in how we've always done things, but it's in the ability to think outside the box that we often find the answers we seek. Adaptability is the sail that propels you in a constantly changing world. The ability to adapt and mold oneself to new circumstances is crucial. This means being willing to learn, adjust, and sometimes accept that the first solution that comes to mind may not be the best. Adaptability is about flowing with the changes, not against them. Finally, cooperation is the rudder that helps navigate. Many problems are too complex to be solved alone. By joining forces with others, sharing knowledge, skills, and perspectives, we can find more effective and sustainable solutions. Cooperation highlights the importance of each individual and how together we can achieve more than the sum of our parts. Now I invite you to reflect. FCT, when faced with problems that arise, is your first reaction to focus on obstacles or seek solutions? Remember, every challenge is an opportunity to grow, learn, and innovate. Keep your compass oriented towards solutions. Adjust your sails with creativity and adaptability, and remember that together we are stronger. Thus, there is no storm that cannot be navigated Avoid in unnecessary arguments. Navigating the complex world of human interactions can sometimes put us on collision courses with unnecessary arguments, especially when they involve people whose energies seem more draining than enriching. However, adopting some effective strategies can help us avoid these storms, preserving our inner peace and maintaining more harmonious relationships. Firstly, focusing on similarities instead of differences can be a guiding light that leads us to calmer waters. When we concentrate on what we have in common with others, we create a foundation of mutual understanding. This doesn't mean ignoring differences or compromising our values, but rather finding common ground that can serve as a starting point for constructive dialogue. Remember, it's easier to build bridges when we have a solid foundation. Knowing when to withdraw is another crucial skill. Not every argument deserves your time and energy. Recognizing the signs that a conversation is heading into unproductive territory is essential. If you sense that the discussion will lead to nothing productive, gracefully step back. This is not a sign of defeat, but of emotional intelligence and self-preservation. Choose your battles is an adage that applies perfectly here. Furthermore, replacing statements with questions is a powerful tool for diffusing tensions. Questions encourage reflection and dialogue rather than confrontation. For example, instead of stating "you are wrong," try asking, "Can you explain your point of view better to me?" This demonstrates openness to understanding the other side and can turn a potential argument into an enriching exchange of ideas. In addition to these strategies, it is always helpful to practice empathy and patience, remembering that each of us carries our own struggles and perspectives. By putting ourselves in the other person's shoes, even if we don't agree, we can cultivate a deeper understanding that transcends momentary disagreements. Navigating the waters of human communication requires skill and care, but with the right tools we can avoid many of the storms that arise in our path. Remember, true strength lies in the ability to maintain calm and clarity, even in the midst of chaos. Detection of false cordiality. Identifying signs of false cordiality is like learning to decipher a secret code in the vast universe of human interactions. The ability to perceive when someone is genuinely friendly or if there are hidden intentions can protect you from manipulations and contribute to the development of more authentic and meaningful relationships. Here are some tools to help you unravel this code. Body language is a window to a person's true intentions. Signs such as a smile that does reach the eyes, closed postures, or evasive eye contact can indicate that the displayed cordiality is not entirely sincere. Think about the difference between a genuine smile, which lights up the entire face and often involves the whole body, and a forced smile limited only to the lips learning to read these signs can provide important clues about the true nature of the interaction. Tone of voice is also revealing. Genuine cordiality is often accompanied by a warm, inclusive, and consistent tone of voice. On the other hand, false cordiality can manifest through an overly sweet tone that seems out of place with the situation, or sudden variations in tone that do not match the natural flow of the conversation. Pay attention to the congruence between what is being said and how it is being said. Consistency of behavior is another key indicator. Genuine people tend to be consistent in their actions and in the way they treat others regardless of the situation. If someone demonstrates cordiality that fluctuates drastically or seems selective based on who is present or what benefits can be obtained, this may be a red flag. Lastly, trust your intuition. Often we have an instinctive feeling when something is not right. If you feel uncomfortable or sense that someone's cordiality is not genuine, pay attention to these feelings. They are your subconscious picking up on subtleties that your conscious mind may not immediately perceive. Protecting yourself from false cordialities does not mean closing yourself off to new relationships, but rather opening yourself up to more genuine and meaningful connections. By enhancing your ability to discern the intentions of others, you better equip yourself to navigate the complex world of human relationships, promoting an environment of authenticity and mutual respect.